In this video, we are going to discuss one of the important topic, which is multi-threading. Multi-threading plays vital role in core Java, advanced Java, or any particular developing language. Okay. So multi-threading means concurrent execution of two or more parts of program. Multi-threading means multiple threads can execute simultaneously or concurrently. Okay. Thread means thread is the flow of execution of program. Okay. So basically thread is the lightweight process. Actually process is the heavyweight process. Okay. So thread is the part of the process. Okay. So one process has multiple threads. Okay. So this is all about thread. Okay. So there is one thread life cycle. In it there is 5 stages. First is born or new stage, second one is runnable, third one is the running, and fourth one is terminated or dead, and fifth one is the blocking or IO waiting. Okay. So when we create thread, okay, then it will comes into born or new stage. Okay. So we have created one thread here. Okay. Okay. So this is the T1 thread. We have created this thread. Okay. So at that time the thread is in the born stage. Okay. Okay. So after that it comes into the runnable stage. Okay. When we call start method, then it is in runnable stage on internally. Okay. So I'll show you. Okay. So we have T1 thread and we have called the start method on T1 thread. Okay. So at that time the thread is here. So internally start method call to run method. Okay. That time the thread comes into the running stage and the execution of thread is in running. Okay. So after the completion of the execution, the threads go into the dead or terminated stage. Okay. But while the thread is executing, there may be chances of the blocking the thread or the any IO request. So if any IO request comes, it goes into IO waiting, or any interrupt is comes, then it comes into the block stage. Okay. When we called yield method, then the control or thread goes directly to the runnable stage. Okay. So this is the life cycle method of the thread. Okay. So there is two way to create threads: by extending thread class and by implementing runnable interface. So actually the thread class has several methods like start method, run method, sleep, join, yield, set name, get priority, set priority, is alive, is daemon, set daemon, interrupt, get id, set id, get thread group. So these are the several methods which are included in thread class. Okay. And also we have runnable interface, but runnable interface has only one method, which is run method. Okay. It has only one method. Okay. So I'll show you that the how we create the threads by both the way. Okay. So if we have this option by extending the thread class, then why we need to go for the runnable interface to extend the to implement thread. Okay. So the basic reason is that when we extend the thread class, okay, and at the same time if we want to extend the another one class for the same class, then it comes under the multiple inheritance, and Java does not support multiple inheritance. Okay, so this is the main problem. So to avoid this problem, the solution is that implementing runnable interface. Okay, so runnable interface comes into picture to avoid the multiple inheritance. Okay, so this is the actual reason behind this. Okay, so we'll see both the way how we can extend the thread class and how we can implement the runnable interface. Okay, so first of all we comes into the main method of our class. So this is the main method of our class. Okay, so we have created three threads, t1, t2, t3. Okay, so our class name is multi-threading. Okay, and it extends from thread class, and we already discussed that we have several methods into thread class. Okay, so we have created three threads. At that time the threads comes into ready or new or born stage. Okay, so we have called the start method on t1, and always remember that thread class has a start method, but runnable interface has no start method. I will explain you properly further. Okay, so we have called start method on t1 thread, t2 thread and t3 thread. Okay, so internally start method call the run method of the thread class. Okay, when the start method is called on any thread, then it will call the run method internally. Okay, so we have the run method which is override or overridden from the thread class. Okay, so we have we are able to give the logic into run method, or we can call the methods into run method. Okay, so if you want to execute any methods or any code, we have to write it down into run method only. Okay, so we can write logic outside the run method by using the methods, and the method call should be in run method. Okay, or we can also give logic into the run method. Okay, so we have two methods, m1 and m2 method. M1 method has some logic. Okay, and m2 method has some logic. Okay, so we can see that how the threads are going to execute. Okay, so we have three threads. We can't guarantee that the which thread will execute first and which execute later. It's execute randomly. So first call is for the m1 method. When run method is start to execute, the first call is to m1 method and the second call is to m2 method. So m1 method call are executed first and then it goes to m2 method. Okay, but in m1 method we have three threads, thread 0, thread 2, thread 1. Okay, this is the sequence. Okay, for the second time the sequence has been changed, thread 1, thread 2, thread 0. Okay, so in m1 we have initialized I to 50 and it comes to less than 100, and we have incremented by 10, so it will execute from 50, 60, 70, 80 and 90 for the three threads. Okay, so this is the sequence. It continuously change. We can't guarantee in which sequence it can execute. So we can able to see that the how sequence is changing continuously. Okay, 0 to 1, 0 1 2. Okay, so after the completion of m1 method, control comes to m2 method. Again three threads are randomly executing. Okay, one by one. Okay, so in this way the threads executing happen. Okay, so there is two important methods in the okay, so we have two methods, yield and join. Okay, so yield is a static method. It means that yield method allows the current executing thread to wait, and it can allow other threads which are waiting outside, it can allow to execute them first. Okay, so it also, okay, we can see that this is the thread 0. So after execution of the thread 0, it give chance to thread 2 and it give chance to other threads. Okay, so in this way it runs, and after this we have one other method which is join method. Okay, so while calling the join method, we have to cover it by try and catch block, because it throws an exception. So every time we have to handle the exception while using join method, but at the time of yield method we need not to handle the exception. Okay, so basically join methods is the method which join method actually execute execute the current thread completely, and then it will allow other thread to execute. Okay, so means if we have called the join method on T1 thread, then the T1 thread completely execute first, and then it will allow T2 and T3 thread to execute. Okay, so we'll see that. Okay, so we can see that thread 0 is executing first 50. Okay, so first call goes to here run method, M1 method, and in M1 method 50 to 90 of thread 0 will be executed first. Okay, so we can see that thread 0 of M1 method 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Again for the second thread 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and for the third thread 50, 80, 90. Okay, so we can see here the first thread means thread 0 complete its execution first. Okay, we can see here. Okay, so first thread have completed its execution completely, and then it allows remaining two threads to execute one by one. So there is no any sequence into remaining two, thread 1, thread 2, thread 2, thread 1, thread 1, thread 2. So the join method execute the current thread first completely, and then it will allow to execute remaining threads. Okay, this is the function of yield and join method of the multi-threading. Okay, so we can see how we can extend the runnable interface, or how we can implement the runnable interface. Okay, so we have runnable interface. Okay, so keep one thing in mind always, when we are implementing the runnable interface, we have only run method, we don't have start method. Okay, so first of all we have to create the object of the our interface. or we have to create first object of our class. Okay, then we have to create the object of thread class, and into it we have to pass the object of our class. Okay, so due to which it can able to call the run method of the thread class first, and then we can call directly the thread class. Okay, so if I am not doing this, then we can see that what will be happen. Okay, so we have no. Okay, so it can say that create the method start into demo. Okay, so we are unable to create, or the runnable interface have no start method. So we have to create the thread class object, and into it we have to pass the object of our class. Then it will call the run method of thread class first, and it will start the execution of the interface. Okay, so further we'll discuss in second video.